friends, my name is Claire and today we are going over some coping skills for social anxiety, so please stick around. Hi friends, my name is Claire and this is my channel, Woodshed Theory. Here, I make content about what it is like to live as an adult on the autism spectrum and whatever else feels good to me. So if that sounds good to you, or if you're feeling particularly gracious today, and I hope that you are, please go ahead and click the subscribe button, ring the bell. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers for Christmas. Thank you. I almost forgot to mention that I put out videos 3 times a week like clockwork, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be there. Will you be there? A lot of things are happening right now that have spurred me to do a video like this. First, a friend gave me the idea. Second, I just had a Friendsgiving weekend I went to that was kind of a test for me to implement everything that I've learned about social anxiety. 3, the holidays are coming up and we can't stop the passage of time. Here they come. And 4, now that the vaccine has become more widespread, people are going to start to want to be together again. So our autistic moment of solitude is finally coming to a close. All of these things put together make me feel like, okay, let's talk then about how to deal with when you have to be around a group of people for longer than a moment. If you are on the spectrum or otherwise neurodivergent, you are most likely familiar with the experience of social anxiety. It is usually marked with a period before and after the event where you are first planning your social interaction, and then after the event when you are reviewing everything that happened and making sure that you didn't say something super rude or very embarrassing. Then of course there is the actual time spent with people and navigating that entire experience in real time, which of course is hard when you have a different neurological process than maybe the people you are with. I'm not sure if any of the information I'm about to give you will be new information to you. Of course, it's not a complete list of everything you can do to overcome social anxiety. And I'm not a doctor. I can't guarantee that any of these tips will actually work for you. I just wanted to put a disclaimer in to say this is what I've been doing. This is what helps me a little bit. And I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on it. My first piece of advice is to have some time to process an event that is coming up beforehand. I usually need a few days to mentally prepare for an event like a family holiday. I am not saying to practice all of your social interactions or go over scripts before you get to a place. I think that this can be helpful but also harmful for you. If something goes off script, then you'll be stressed out and the socializing aspect can go south really quickly. I like to take some time before an event to sit quietly and do some deep breathing, meditation, and calming contemplation. I also like to give myself adequate time to get ready for any interaction as far as showering, getting dressed, putting makeup on, making myself feel as comfortable and as myself as possible before the event happens. So yes, the first piece of advice is try not to rush into any big social situations like a holiday gathering if possible, without some time to process first. If you can't get some time to process beforehand and you're thrown into an event in the spur of a moment, this can actually be pretty difficult for an ASD person to process. So with that comes my next piece of advice. Second thing I always try to do is have a secondary location to take a break when the socializing starts to become too overwhelming for me. For example, if you're at someone's house, a good bet could be the restroom. That's always good for 5 minutes of alone time. You may also be able to use a relative's bedroom for a few minutes or go out and sit in the car outside. Having a secondary location where you can take a moment to yourself, I have found extremely helpful. Even when I feel things are going very well, I think it is important to make sure that you are taking breaks. Even if you feel like you're doing fine and maybe you don't need a break, take one anyway. If you do start to feel overwhelmed at all, allow yourself to take a break. Do not push yourself to the point of having a breakdown. Listen to yourself and your body and take the break early in order to avoid any issues later. For example, I just did a camping trip with some friends, and during our second day, I spent about an hour in our tent alone, just resting and recouping. I was feeling all right, but also was starting to notice I was getting a little bit more nervous, so I gave myself some permission to step out for a moment and recharge. I know what you're thinking. Well, what if my company that I'm keeping does not let me leave to take breaks? I know that some families can really lay on the guilt trip when it comes to this. I would say this is where the bathroom, restroom really comes in handy because usually people do not question this. Another option is to say you need to go get your sweater out in the car, hand that person a drink, and then leave to go get your sweater. This is usually good for a few minutes of a break as well. The next thing I was thinking as far as the actual social interaction and having to survive that is to set boundaries with the people that you are with so that you're all on the same page. It is okay to tell people beforehand that you may need a minute on your own to recharge, or if you aren't comfortable with that, you can also say that you're not feeling your best and need a moment to rest on your own. People are usually okay with one of these two examples to just allow you to leave for a little bit. Another possibility is if you are going somewhere with a family member or close friend, ask them to check in with you from time to time on how you're doing throughout the social event. Sometimes the people who are close to us can read us better than we think they can. This person may be able to spot that you are uncomfortable or coming to the end of your socializing gas can, and they can perhaps help you transition into helping you get out of that situation if you're ready to do so. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is that it is okay to set healthy boundaries with your friends and family. It is okay to focus on your own needs when it comes to your ASD and how you are processing the world. Not everyone is going to get it. There will 95% of the time be someone in the party that doesn't get it, and maybe they will say something. Well, screw them is all I have to say about that. They don't live in your body and experience your brain. So feel okay dismissing what that person has to say because they are not you and they should focus on themselves. Oh, and I guess I should add a quick caveat. If you are going to a Thanksgiving event, there is a 50-50 chance they will want to go around the room and have everyone talk about what they are thankful for. The ASD nightmare. Do not be caught off guard by this. Just think, Thanksgiving means neurotypicals will want to give this small presentation to each other to connect at a deeper level. If nothing comes to mind for you immediately, you can always say you are thankful for your family. If you hate your family, you can always say you are thankful for your health. If your health is bad, you can even go more general and just say that you're thankful to be there celebrating the holiday with those people. That's probably true. Something to say. If I've learned anything, neurotypicals don't necessarily care what you say. They just care that you participate in the ritual. I do know it's kind of cheating because I'm preparing a script for a moment like that, but it always helps me because as soon as someone asks me to get sentimental, I kind of freeze because I always want to be authentic with what I'm saying and really mean it. And again, I've learned that this part isn't really the point to the neurotypical. They just care that you share, not necessarily that you're super sincere. So if you engage in this ritual, just move forward because from what I've gathered, there is no way out of doing it. Friends, family, health, or happy to be here usually covers everything. Pets, you can say your pets. Usually no one has bad blood with their pets. So now that you've made it through the in-person portion of the social event, you get to experience the after effects of socializing as someone with ASD. You get home. Your friends ask if you want to extend the party further and spend some more time together at an after party. And here's the real kicker. You say no. The one piece of advice I hear pretty constantly from ASD people, and I would agree, is that you will need adequate social recovery time after the fact. Everyone is different, so this will look different for each person. I find the longer the social situation for me, the more time I need afterwards to recover my social mojo. If it's just a few hours thing, I may be able to get away with a good nap alone afterwards. If it's a whole weekend get together, I may need a day or two to process things mostly on my own. Now, I'm not saying to ruminate on what you said or get into a panic about what happened. I'm just saying to give yourself some time to rest and process. If you feel like you won't have time to do this, I will tell you it's important to make the time to do this. If you don't make the time, I normally see people having a meltdown or an argument or a breakdown. Just give yourself some time. Personally, now that I've been diagnosed and I understand my issues with social anxiety, I always plan now to have the recoup time when I'm planning the social interaction. Sometimes that means coming home a little bit early from something to make sure I give myself some time, and I have let myself be okay with that. I'm pretty sure this was a lame list of how to get through social interactions as a diagnosed person, and it's probably stuff that you've all heard before. I think the biggest thing that I've learned is to change my expectations that I have for myself and to do what is most comfortable for me. I used to dread going to some of these events. Well, I still do, but I know that I can do better because I'm taking care of myself and focusing on my needs in that situation. So I would love to hear from you what you do to get through socializing, especially during the holidays. I know that I have not made an exhaustive list here and that we would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I always forget something or don't think of something, and then somebody puts it in the comments and it really ends up helping me and our wider community, so thank you. That is everything I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you have an amazing day. I will see you on Monday. It's always Friday. Yeah, bye guys.